Okay, go.
Okay, this is a dump.MP4 LPD dump. This is a 12-foot. This dump has a lot of items on it that are standard that most trailers in this industry don't. We're just going to go around and point them out. To start with, 2 5/16 adjustable coupler. Adjustable is standard on it, gives the customer the option. 7,000 pound square jack is standard versus a round top wind or side wind, which tends to be most common around. Things to point out on here would be like the gussets where they've got this here, nice and thick and heavy duty. This is all plated in nice, it's neat and tidy. Of course, we've got our breakaway, we've got our I-beam frame. That's one of the biggest things with this trailer. It's an 8-inch I-beam versus a channel frame like most other companies tend to use. We see a lot of 5 or 6-inch tongues in this industry. This is an 8-inch I-beam and it runs full length. What the I-beam enables us to do, besides making it stronger and it looks impressive, is that it keeps the ride height of the trailer down a little bit. So it rides lower, hence low profile dump. That's what LPD stands for. Wide flange. Of course, they're using the same paint, and the dumps are nice to show the paint on. It's nice and shiny, looks wet. The rubber mounted LED lights is standard with the sealed harness, the same as the goosenecks use. So it's a lot of plug and play. There's a lot less connectors in it. One thing they've done with the I-beam you can point out too is instead of just gluing a tongue onto the trailer, which is how most companies tend to do it. I mean, they build a tongue, it gets welded onto the frame. This I-beam runs full length of this trailer. This web does not get cut. This is all one piece right through. They snip the flange and wedge it, and then they plate it here, but the web is continuous. You'll get some people start talking about plates, they don't like them. But the thing is, if we just glue this on here and plate it, it's still not as strong as this. This web is continuous, that gives us a lot more strength. They're all ordered with tarps, that's a standard thing. Spare tire mount is standard, spare is an option. Again, Diamond C built toolbox. This system, it has a charge system built into it. We've got our electric over hydraulics, a corded remote, and the optional wireless remote is pretty much a must-have. It's really nice to have. If we run this up, this is a power up, power down hoist as well. It's not just power up, float down. Generally that's done for, it's just a little bit more quality. So if we get in here, we've got our maintenance bar. This pops up and pops into this cup if need be. The hoses lay in the trough. Everything is neat and tidy. There's nothing dangling out anywhere under here. All the wiring is clipped down to the side of the I-beam. It's looped in and tied. The ram itself, it is a scissor hoist, not just a single ram. It's made for this trailer. It's a champion hoist. Diamond C have them built to spec. They tend to have a bigger bore in them. And you'll get the question a lot of times is that a 10 ton, is that a 20 ton? That hoist is made for this trailer. The only time that hoist won't work is if this trailer is overloaded, plain and simple. If you want real specific specs on it, you can call Brad, and he can drum up what he can, but that's what the customer needs to know. And once you start talking about the hoist is built for the trailer, usually you don't get that picky question too many times. It's all serviceable, it's got grease nipples on it, it's easy to get to. 2x5 box frame underneath of this box, and this is one of the reasons it's lower. This doesn't come down and stack on top of the frame rail. This is actually comes down inside it, so we're saving 5 inches of ride height is essentially what we're doing. We've got our 3-inch cross members. They run a 2x5 tube across where the hoist joins, where it's pushing on, but it's all neat and tidy for sure. That's one of the biggest things with it. Run it down. Formed posts for the frame, or for the sidewalls in it, as opposed to just nothing, or some small tubes, because there are companies who don't really put much, if anything, in. Brings us to the next thing in here, which is important, which is the way the box is built. from here, across the top here, down the top rail, down to the corner, and across to the middle is one piece. It's all 10 gauge. Industry standard would be 10 on the floor, 12 on the sidewall, so a little bit lighter on the sidewall. So we've got a heavier gauge in the wall, which gives us more strength. The other thing that gives us a lot more strength is this box is 2 pieces put together. It's kind of like a unibody. Gives us more strength. Putting brakes in here is going to add more strength to it and keep the weight down. We don't need to put these form posts every 8 inches anymore, like we used to in the other models. So we've got a lot of strength here. Trailers come with stake pockets on them as well. The other advantage of having a 2-piece box like this is the seam down the side here. This is a bad corner for crap getting caught in. The dirt gets packed down in there, and there's usually weld. There's a seam with a bunch of weld, and that's the first place these things want to rust out. We still have a seam down the middle, but it's in the middle, so the weight's sitting on top of it. When you get it in the corner, it gets jammed in. Guys don't clean these out the way they should. Things starts to rust. So it's a lot nicer from that standpoint as well. We got 4 heavy D-rings are standard in it, which tend to be an option. But the biggest thing is this box. Nobody else do it. Again, we've got rubber mounted LEDs. Diamond plate fenders are standard. A little bit stronger. We see a lot of cheap teardrops and straight fenders on these trailers. 7,000 pound Dexters with a walking beam. Again, 16-inch radials. They are a trailer tire. Easy lube hubs. When we get here towards the rear, this trailer has a 3-way tailgate on it. We release our handle. We've got a spreader. Or if we pull these 2 hubs out the top and you put some chain on here, I'm not sure where the chain is, but you put some chain here and hook it to here, this will actually drop like a truck tailgate. And the third option would be double doors that swing open. It's a simple system. They use a very, very thick flat bar here, and these hubs, it's not just a pin. They actually use it's a solid piece of pipe here. So it's got lots of strength. The hinge here has a nipple on it, so you can keep it greased. And they make them. It's a piece of flat bar, and they run a bolt. So there's no bushings. It's not a lighter hinge. They're heavy duty and they're strong. The gate itself is broke, the same as the side is. This whole back panel from here, running down around, all the way in the inside, and then the bottom lip here on the outside this is all one panel. And then they use the heavy tubing for the frame on the ends, and they put the form post in it, so it's a good, solid, strong door. The 3-way tailgate is standard. It tends to be an option with everyone else. Some companies don't even do it. They can't. So it's a very, very nice thing. It gives the guy a lot of versatility. As well, another standard feature on these that are nice is we've got 6-foot slide-out ramps. More often than not, a dump is getting used to load a small tractor or a skid steer into it. So having ramps standard is a big deal. Most companies don't do it. Apples to apples, this trailer is going to price out. It tends to be more than the other ones that are out there. But from a feature standpoint, if you make anybody else's trailer the same as this, and most of it you can't. No one else do this paint. No one else do that frame like that. You start doing apples to apples, including the tarp and the wireless remote and everything. These trailers, there's a lot of value here. There's a lot of bullets. So it shouldn't be too tough to get some major interest in it for sure. Okay? That's it.